Area. Ah. I'm sorry. Welcome to today's stream, and we just set the mood for what we're doing today. Having fun, I guess, is the thing we're doing. We are about to jump into our flat ride little thingy. We're going to absolutely do today. Hope you guys are doing good. I assume we are going to be a very cozy small group today, because I did not really announce this stream relatively early or anything. Didn't put the event in or whatnot. So if people catch me, that will be on coincidence, I guess. Anyhow, I say hello to Uber Stevo, to Nick Fladinut, and also to Megaplex. There you go. Yeah, exactly. That's what we're building. No, but I'm gonna show you the coaster that this will be for, because I'm rather proud of this coaster. Like, so here's the thing. I think. That's a dangerous thing I'm going to say, but I think I made the full transition now from from still playing Planet Zoo, Planet Coaster 2, and still seeing advantages of both games. After last week's Planet Zoo stream and seeing the reception of it, and also having had my own experiences with it, I have to say that by now Planet Coaster 2 is just so much better. It is just so much the better game that I feel like at the same point as where I was when Planet Zoo was released, and I tried hard to keep Planet Coaster going, but like after the transition has happened way too often and you felt like, okay, see, that is better, it became increasingly hard to play Planet Coaster back in the day. The same thing did not really happen with Planet Coaster 2 because the game was so bad at the beginning. But I have to admit, it's gotten so good lately, and it's gotten so many little things, hidden things, that Frontier wasn't even communicating, which I guess is a broken record at this point. But yeah, can you tell about the leaked DLC pack, Guns and Parade DLC? Wait, what? Where has this been leaked? Like, honestly, I have no news. I just saw Taggy's video where he was like, okay, hold on. First of all, you just come in. Where was the leak? But Guns? What is even Guns? I'm confused because like that is a weird naming convention for Frontier in general. Not that I don't believe, because obviously we have seen parades, but where has that leak happened? So thanks for all the likes. Yeah, what leaks exactly? I mean, a broken pipe leaks, but what is that? Like, I have to learn more. There was surely no leaks. I'm gonna double check now. I mean, if there was a leak, it should be Planet Coaster 2 DLC leak, and then let's just set the filter to last 24 hours maybe. Yeah, no. Also, no. Not really. Not really. And what about if I type in Guns and Parade? What is Guns even? Am I missing something? There's literally no result to that one. No, absolutely not. Okay, I was shocked for a second because I have no news, I have no mail, I have no early access of some kind. And so it would be a little early, wouldn't it? It's over a month. Planet Coaster TV, good evening. Anyhow, I want to just finish up my little moment. Also, we can already have the coaster riding from the outside. Mr. Kane, hello. So what I wanted to say is that, like, I just noticed lately that I enjoy myself playing Planet Coaster 2 so much more by now, that it's been incredibly hard to play Planet Zoo, for example. It's been incredibly hard because there are so many features missing. There is so much fighting systems that didn't bother me too much in the past because it's been the situation that just been there. But now with games like Jurassic World Evolution 3 and Planet Coaster 2 being on the market, and they're in the same engine, same developer, you know that these tools potentially will be there soon. I just have an insanely hard time now. Hey there, Master Engineering, to play this. So this is why, and this is what I wanted to say. The other day, I think it was Sunday evening or so, I sat down and I just I just randomly wanted to build a coaster. And this is, I guess, one of my very best coasters I've ever built. I mean, you can rip me apart in the chat if you want now in a second. But this is obviously here in our German park, and I wanted to kind of get a framing into how big the park shall become. As I said already many times, I don't want this park to become super, super big. So this is definitely going to be something on the outskirts of the park. And I'm planning, like, depending on what the new DLC is, it looked very Main Street-ish to me as well from the pieces. And I'm not going to start a new park, not at all. But I could imagine, because we do still have some space here in the back, I could imagine putting a second entrance in on the other side of the park. So maybe somewhere over here, or maybe with the coaster, I don't know. And then put like a tiny bit of a Main Street. But like what I want to do is I want to kind of maybe get like a very nice lakeside, like very Victorian inspired, I don't know, lakeside view. And then maybe having like a tiny bit of a Main Street-ish vibe, connected to the more German Black Forest building style, because that actually works together pretty well. So making a very like 19th, 18th, 19th century inspired high society kind of lakeside builds, and this would be then somewhat over here with the view of the coaster. This is where I, wanted to go. But yeah, this is what I wanted to get across before we jump over into the other park to build the flat ride a bit more today. But let's just hop on the coaster for a bit. To show. Oh, actually, before we hop on the coaster, I'm going to show you the coaster. So we do have like a bit of a pre-launch section over here. So you are going to be kicked out of the station relatively harsh so that you get in here with a little bump. And then you get into a holding section, making use of the new, just kind of launch feature of the wing coaster. And we are going into a very uncommon element for wing coaster. I did double check a couple of normal elements, but I wanted to have a bit of a very crazy airtime moment right at the beginning, and I wanted to do something rather unique, but I also wanted to open up for what is coming behind that. So that was like going into this huge inversion, which is most likely more of a typical first element of that type of coaster. But I wanted to have this one first to get the people up there, have a huge airtime moment, and then we we're falling over into this left-hander, preparing ourselves below that wonderful corkscrew-ish kind of roll over here, and then we go into that almost like zero-G high stall roll, I should call it, and then we get into a rather nice, almost like helix-like left bend, going into a bit of a nicer switchback left-right into a right bend. So that is going to get the people really pressed into the seats and enjoying that kind of flying feeling of the wing coaster. And here you can see the pacing is also very decent. You get it down here, and now the roll, you get that little bit of hang time here in the middle, and then you go down. This might actually be a little bit too close to the water. Well, in fact, it's in the water. I gotta restart a little over here. There will be some fixes still done. But yeah, so then that comes up here, going into a bit of a faster airtime moment, what that is, and then just going back in here, doing the same thing again. So we have a bit of a pretzel kind of thing, almost like an infinity sign over there. And then we go into a half loop, bringing ourselves back into the mid-course brake run, which is, I think, very typical for a first part of a coaster. And then we are going down relatively steep hill into that roll, as you can see over here. And then from that roll, we go into a very nice overbanked right-hander that then meanders back into a bit of a bunny hop. It's not really a bunny hop, it's like a little airtime moment. And then we go to a double down into that kind of helix over here. And so from there we go down into yet another half loop, but this time another round. We go up and then down. From here we get a last bit of airtime, getting into a first little break, and then meander back into the actual brake run, where there is still enough space to get like a switch, like a transfer track in here. That would hopefully be good. And then we get into a separate unloading area of the coaster, and then lose your sneakers in the water. I mean, not your sneakers only. Guess Guests are already avoiding trains. Yeah, I've seen that, and Taggy has shown that, and this has been really good. Also, Metal Life Gaming, good evening. Just as a little reminder, guys, if you like emotes and stuff, you can become a member on the channel if you are not already, or you can sub with your Prime sub finally back again on Twitch. So in case you want to support me and free me further from the nasty algorithm shitty stuff, we want to ride on board, by the way. You can either become a member or become a Twitch. Actually, you know what? We fixed the coaster before we do that. A Twitch sub, which both of these things help me out. So that would be very generous and cool of you. But obviously, you don't have to. Sitting through with me, watching ads, is basically also already doing quite a lot. So I think we can actually that should be fine. Actually just a tiny bit more down, and then let's just smoothly this in a little bit more. So let's go and hop on the ride and see if we do a little test here. So that should hopefully get us into the... Yeah, sometimes that just doesn't work, and I'm not sure why. So hold on. Okay, now it works. Let's have a little enjoyable ride here. So there you go. This, as I said at the beginning, is like a little bit of a pre-launch, just like very enjoyable. Not the biggest fan of the last Helix. Okay, well, I mean, we can check that out. But like, let's first of all have a ride. And oh, that sound is so good. And then we get up here. It's not really airtime. Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of airtime. And then we go down into the roll, which is super smooth. I like that. It's really smooth. Get that little bit of hang time. Very nice transition here. This one over here is also snappy, but not too snappy. Really nice going into I think the banking is pretty good as well. Miss Baba, good evening. Here's a bit of smoothing missing. I will still do that. And then we come up here in that half loop, which also is very smooth. Pacing is great. And then we go down, snitch into a tree. That one over here is also very smooth. Really enjoy that one. And then it goes over into that overbank thing to the right-hand side. The transition over here could be a bit more nicer. Maybe I'm gonna get this double down here a little bit harsher so that we get 2 airtime moments, and then we go into that helix. That just actually it tightens up a little bit too much at the end. There's a little snap here, and then this loop I quite like. It has a lot of pace still in it, and then we go to a right-hander into that kind of little breaky, and then there you go. I'm not going to ignore you, Kane. I was just like focusing on talking you through the coaster real quick. So what are we actually doing? Building a secret trailer, building a sci-fi card, or just ask? Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, but I didn't have the time to change thumbnails or whatever today. So I used the old stream. Let me just straight be honest with you. But we are building the secret flat ride, and I just changed that like to the YouTube title because I was lazy to do. Actually, the Helix isn't that bad. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. But I will need to fix, like, what is this little... What is this? Where is this coming from? On the ride, it didn't feel too bad, but that was actually very weird indeed. Let's smooth that quickly. That's a okay. Well, it's a bit of an odd one. But yeah, so this is the layout, and honestly, as I said earlier, I'm really happy. I'm really happy. I'm not too sure about that pre-launch. I may change this up a little bit. I'm not sure. Maybe I do get in with a tiny bit of a launch here before the launch. I don't know. Yeah, that's the most I could get in with the launch, and I'm pretty happy. You could still give that a tiny bit more speed, but to be honest, this part over here is already rather strong. Like, the forces are pretty intense here. So even, I mean, you could get a tiny bit quicker, but not that much quicker. So yeah, but overall, I am really happy. I'm really happy how that thing turned out. So let's save this real quick. And then we go over into the other park. Lazy streamers don't grow numbers, you know. Yeah, I know. I think at this point we just gotta go with it. We just gotta accept the way it is. By the way, speaking of lazy, I fixed something. Here, my headphones, guys. It's fixed. It took me quite a while to figure out what was going on, but it was the easiest of all fixes. For some odd reasons, because I'm using the Elgato setup over here, which has a dedicated mix tool where you can put in all the different, all the different inputs and blah blah blah. Because of that, I thought everything must be fine because I added the headphones to that one. However, OBS also added the headphones additionally, and also added the microphone. So what was happening, the moment I started OBS, my computer had two different microphones running at the same time, and because that was clashing with the audio drivers, what Windows then does is it basically levels down the quality of your audio overall to basically be able to deal with two microphones, which on your end doesn't matter because it all was channeled through the Elgato mixing tool and everything was fine because I was actually using the correct audio levels. But for me personally, I had that crappy Windows audio running over the Windows audio blah 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 and not my high quality setup. So yeah, blame me for using AI, but after hours and hours of Googling and Reddit usage and blah, 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 it was a 15-second fix after asking Gemini. So I guess there is a usage for that, I guess. I was like, I find this myself, and then after like an hour or two, when I was really getting a little bit desperate and helpless, I just asked it and it solved it in a second. So yeah. Anyways, that's been the story about the headphones. Are you gonna ever do a stream where you look at our parks? Yes, I will. But I have too many projects running at the moment. So I remember that last time I promised someone to check out a ride or so, but that someone was gone, and I didn't know which park it was. But we did also check out something lately, so it's not like that we've never done this. Hello everyone, hope you're all having a good day. Yes, same to you, Road Dashing. I hope you are enjoying as well. So this has been our general setup lastly, and I have done a little poll today what we are starting with, and I was a bit surprised about the answer. I will double check if the answer still stands, but I am a little bit confused. Let's have a double check if the answer is still valid. Let's go to my channel and to my polls, and it still is by, wow, very, very much, by a lot. By 70%, we are starting with the forest over here. That is interesting. Yeah, Kane, that is true. That is very true indeed. So we are starting with this little bit over here, which is going to be the forest. Yeah, I'm very curious how I pull that off. I'm very curious how that's gonna. That was not on my list today. I put it in the poll because I thought I need a fourth one, and then I wasn't really seeing over 70 people saying the forest. So yeah, I guess that's what we are starting with then. So just as for the inspo, my God, that's gonna be a hard task. But just as for the inspo, this is what we are doing. This is about what I want to have, and let me see if I can position that correctly for you guys. So basically, what we are going to try is to have that overgrown mossy log is basically going over here. Let me just so that you guys can see that. So it's just be there. And then there's also that stream of water, which we kind of can do because of the water pieces we have. But you was very outvoted on that poll. Okay, what did you vote for then? So yeah, it's going to be a very overgrown kind of attempt. We have to really make sure everything is super foresty. And yeah, also about the queue, which I guess the queue is going to be a bit of a more easier task. But I guess we are going to go with the flow. I think we're going to go with the flow. I mean, this should be the easiest thing to do, and not try to, to overthink it too much. So let's actually get in. We are trying to do our best with that flat ride. I think the first little task is going to do with just getting in a couple of rocks to secure ourselves a little bit of an area. Don't worry, that was just my Windows sounds. I started the recording and the body, you say, okay. Hold on, wait, where's the, oh, is it all part of the group? No, where's the, okay, so the gizmo was doing weird things here. So I'm also not sure if I will end up using all of these things, but what I'm going to do real quick is I'm just going to say random scale, random that, and then we're gonna have a 75. Let's just go 50 50 to that, and this is also fine. I'm just going to click that one in here, and now this should be smaller. Yeah, because I want to see that I can build like a bit of a nice wall design here without having too many different ones interfering with it. I guess that's what I'm going to say. Just having a bit of a wall. We're gonna do some moss and stuff on it as well. And I just have to see where the people go. I mean, they will board on here and go. Yeah, they will run around quite a bit. So I assume we have to deal with that a little bit in a different way. But I think it's just kind of achievable in a way. So we're just going to have a couple of these things over here. I will have to use a couple of other things to make it look a bit more moderately earthy. I think that is what it is. And what we should do before I continue putting all these things down, I should absolutely select, let's just deselect that. And I'm also going to say no path, no facilities, no extras. Is that nature? Are they under nature? So if I go apply filters, okay, that still works. But what is scenery props? Okay, I think this is not only the, okay, well, that should be fine. Okay, so let's say save that as a group, apply filter to selection, okay. And hold on, why can I not? Oh, because of the flat right being selected with it. So let's just deselect that one, I guess, and then we're going to create a group. Okay, fine. I was outvoted on every poll, not a single popular choice selected for me. I mean, that's just how it goes sometimes, Kane. That's just how it goes sometimes. So can I have a quick hi from the lurkers? Because I will say that I'm very aware that today will be a very calm and restful stream, I guess, at the end of the day. But let me know in the comments, let me know in the chat who is there, who's lurking, who's having a bit of fun with us. That would be superb. Also, what we could do is we could just quickly get another path in, because that is something else we obviously need to do. I'm just going to see if path cannot cross. No, I don't want to cross. I want to paint it. Okay, so that is the rustic path. Can I get this even darker? So how about that? Okay, this is just gray. I want to have that brown. Okay, can I get this even more brown, please? Yeah, that's about as brown as I can get it, I guess. So let's also just do that on all the queue here. So that is fantastic. I think I don't need more than that. And also the last bit we are doing is, oh boy, what's that? What is this? Oh my god, what is that large strata rock? Can we just quickly talk about how freaking low poly that texture is? What the heck? That is definitely that's like a distance painting. That's nothing for a... Okay, moss is gonna be it then. That is just... Yeah, that is much better. What was that other thing though? Oh my god, that was so bad. I'm afraid Twitch has no comment section, so I can't let you know anything. I was being a Wookiee here, okay? So don't mind me. I was being a Wookiee. I think, wait, hold on. I think I can, if I double tap on that one, I should be able to give this the invisible path, right? So let's just say invisible path, and then can I make this? Okay, but hold on. Why can I not? We cannot make these things invisible? Oh, I thought we could. Okay, so that works, but not the other thing. Okay, do we have anything else that we can give it to? So yeah, we're gonna go with the rustic path here as well, I assume. And we're gonna make this the same. Okay, well, I'm fine with this. Moin moin from Hamburg. Then hello to Hamburg, Daddle Connection. How are you doing? Welcome on in. Welcome on in. Enjoy. So, oh god, this is gonna be hard. So, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna say first of all planter, and we do have this thing. I mean, this is a kind of color. I think I'm gonna live. I mean, we could obviously use that one to be able to color that ourselves. I'm just going to see blah, 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 blah. Have I really... Oh, God. So which texture is better? Better, the German. Which texture is better? Huh? Gotta admit that one over here is better, but it's like a bit of a grayish tone, isn't it? It's a bit of a very grayish tone. Hey there, Prem. How do you know if the lot bug with the plants is fixed yet? Not really. A couple of plants have been fixed, but not all of them. But what I'm liking a lot about this thing is that we can get in with different brown tones. And I'm almost like... Actually, you know what? We're going to use both. We're going to use both. This one is actually pretty okay. And we're going to scale that up a little. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have like a bit of a raised up planter area here. And we're going to have some logs to the side that should then help. Thank you for all the likes on the stream. That also helps. Oh my god, I have the random rotation and stuff on. Oh my god, let's get rid of it. Let's get rid of it. So what we got to do is we're going to... I have to first of all find a layout. I wasn't on my bingo card. This is a Rudy original now, because this is not something I have planned to be doing today with the forest. So I'm very curious to see if my quick thinking is doing the job today, or if it's going to be totally ruined and I have to do it just again and again. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to work with some raised areas of soil that we will then cover in plants and in rocks that go to the side, so that this also gets a bit of a different height elevations. And we can also put like a proper back wall to it, you know, because usually these kind of flat right areas also have to be enclosed of some sort. And so that, Marco DeVos, good evening to you. Hello. So I'm just going to try to get in here with a couple of layers of dirt and soil, and we're going to hide them away as best as possible. We also have to make sure, because this is going to be the building, so we have to make sure that this side is also nicely connected to it, which I will do with like a wooden texture from the side. So you know what, actually we can do this real quick to just have an idea how the side over here looks. Is this flexicolor by now? Yes, it is. So I'm willing to just make that a very darkish brown color, and we are going to straight away have this as the side kind of thing go on over here. Yeah, I'm willing to hide this all anyways, just very quickly. But height-wise, I'm just not going to do this too high. I think this is fine already. So I'm going to just do this as best as I can real quick to just hide away this ugly corner over here. We can still put all these facilities inside of the building somewhere else later. We don't need to mind these too much right now, but I will obviously do it this way. So that's kind of nice. So we have this already done. And I'm just going to do this to all sides. And that wall over here is going to be turned into dirt from the side anyways. But I'm just going to have this in. So we have already a separation of some sort. So here goes that. I'm not sure if I'm going to stay with this to the inside. It might actually be more metal from the inside. Or not actually, it's definitely going to be more metal from the inside. But for the moment, this is fine. Quick thinking, streaming simultaneously is not a skill set you have, judging by your past streams. Well, that's fine. I still have to, you know, get better. Gorgon Gaming, good evening. How are you doing? Okay, so... this is kind of a good setup. We don't really have anything to do over here. We will have some bigger logs, I guess, that will... Hey, viewer. That will go on here. Okay, so let's first of all say log. And we have to throw down a couple of things here that we can work with. So obviously these things... The good old plan. It's kind of hilarious that we get the exact same Planet Zoo rock lock in here. That is, I mean, this is the exact same piece as is in Planet Zoo. And I'm just like, why on earth don't we get more than this? Like, why don't we get more pieces from Planet Zoo? Like, these ones are exactly the same too. Sir Designs, good evening to you. Or Teaser, is it Teaser Designs? Or is it Sir Designs? I could also Sir Designs. So hello. So there we have all these kind of locks in here. I'm wondering, do we need these half lock? I don't know. Like this one over here, I like this so much, and I will potentially already bring this in as like a smaller variant of it, and we're just gonna put that here. And I'm also willing to have this on the other way, but also scaled much higher. So this is that. It's gonna be a bit of a hard task to make sure that this building still looks good and is kind of tucked nice into the forest area. But it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good eventually. Hello there, Pimp's Adventures. How are you doing? What up? We are going to have a cozy stream today, doing a couple of nice little things with our Star Wars area, which again, as I said earlier, that wasn't on my card that people were voting for the forest. I definitely have not seen that one coming. I think this lock over here is going to be one of our major pieces we are going to use. It's gonna be a bit of a hard... oh my god, I think what I have to do is I have to just use that from over here, and we're gonna build a little bit from there. Because we have to get this framing somewhat right. I don't want to make this too tall of an area, but I think this is kind of where we are going with this. Because this is where Grogu has to sit. So, like, having the log laying over here, we have this tuck to go on here. That is definitely where it goes. I'm not sure if this is the piece we're going to work with, but anyhows, I'm done with my zoo and Planet Zoo. Oh, that is amazing. I'm also done with Planet Zoo until the new one comes out, but like that's not anything to do with my zoo. I will still try to finish it, but it's becoming harder and harder. If it wasn't on your card, it shouldn't have been on the poll. Yeah, I mean, that is my mistake again. See, it's not like that I don't do mistakes. I shouldn't have put it on. You're fully right. I did it. So I did not expect this to be on top of my card. Let's put it that way. Okay, so this is that. How about wood in general? Can we just get some more wooden pieces? So we've got that weird branch piece. That is not necessary. Let's see, what else do we have? It's a bit of an odd work. I don't even want to record that. It's a bit of an odd work doing this. Hoof what? Hoof 5. Hoof 5 to you. It's like hoof 5, you know, because I'm a camel. It's like, it's not high five, it's hoof 5. That's what it is. TSER designs. Okay, let's say TZR designs. TSER designs. Okay, oh my god, these ones are also... This could be of help. I'm not sure if they will be. Let's see. Oh my god, there are some of the vine pieces. We will use these, even though they have not flexi color. But like they will still get in as good pieces. That one is another one I will need to utilize nicely. What are you building? We are building a flat ride area themed after the Mandalorian movie. So this is going to be an 80/80 lag, because it's going to be animated from that little flat ride over here. This one is going to be a multi-purpose building with having like arcades in and stuff like that, but generally themed after the Mandalorian helmet, I guess. And then down here, this is going to be one of the scenes, potentially, I mean, I haven't seen the movie yet, but potentially from Dagobah, where Grogu is going to be trained, or is training, or maybe you never know when exactly that is. So this is all going to be one big Mandalorian and Grogu area. And the idea is that on top of this helmet, on top of this building, there's going to be also the Razor Crest as a building, like as a cool piece. Like, not sure where this is going, not sure if it's working, but at least this is the basic idea. So look at that, we have a lot of these cool pieces in here that will hopefully do the job. Did I put in all of these? 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that one already in? Yes, this one also made its way in here. Okay, not sure if I put down all these pieces again, but there are like a lot of these wonderful root pieces we will just use a lot. A lot. This is definitely the kind of root pieces I'm going to use to make the Grogu situation on there. I'm not sure if did I use some of these double now? I'm not sure. I should have gone from left to right, but I think it's fine. Are they flexicolor by any means? No, they're not. Okay, I thought they were, but they don't have a color available. It should be fine. Oh no way, I'm building a Grogu and Mandalorian in my studios park right now, hence I knew the movie, can't wait. Oh, that is interesting. That is very interesting. Technically it's hoof 1 or hoof 4 at max if you jumped. It could be hoof 8 then, isn't it? If we've got 2 toes, so hoof 8. Hoof 5 is going to be complicated. It's like hoof 5 would be 2 hoofs and a half, I guess. But you're right. It's not correct, is it? Good evening, Luca. How are you doing? How are you doing? Okay, so we got enough pieces. We can get rid of these. Gizmo, good evening to you. Hello, 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 hello. Okay, let's continue building. I do find a good amount of pieces here. That is kind of cool. I'm actually looking forward to using them now, because this is going to be cool. If I use these pieces in a bit of a different way than before, I could make this really look kind of cool here. So we do need to bring them all in and make the best usage of them. So it's going to be very interesting to see how we can make the best use of them. But I think what I want is that this area is going to look really like overgrown and just like really Dagobah-esque, you know what I mean? That's going to be fun. So also these things, they will work together in a way. I just have to find the correct one. We were going to use some mist effect as well and some different colors, but I think if I do this cleverly enough, it's going to be very nice at the end of the day. Have you got any other themes for me to build in my studios park? I mean, obviously I would be able to give you a million themes, but doesn't that depend on what you want to do, I guess, at the end of the day? So whatever movies you like, whatever series you like, whatever show you like studios for me personally, are the most simple thing to think of, because like there's literally just so much potential. You can literally do whatever you want. If there's like a TV show you like, just do that. If there is a whatever, you know, you can even go with a, I don't know, model, like, you know, model in terms of toy or whatnot. So there's a lot of potential you can just use and do, and I don't know. That's a little bit too big, to be honest. Just like push that in a bit more, like so. There you go. Yeah, that makes the whole thing a little bit better. I don't want to make this too overly grown. These kind of roots, I'm not sure if they need to be in. Maybe somewhere up here is okay, but I just wanted to get rid of them here in the front. Finally awake to time to watch The Master. Oh my god, Taggy! Well, don't speak like that, you know. You are the one breaking the game every single week, so long time gone that I can be called the Master. I'm most likely the Master of disaster, but nothing else anymore. You are the one breaking the game every now and then. While every now and then means literally every second day. It's crazy. But yeah, we are building something very interesting today. We are building on my not so secret project anymore. This is going to be a project that should be themed after the Mandalorian and Grogu. And what we are doing, and actually it's good that you are here, Taggy, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this this flat ride over here. Let's put that into test. And same goes for that one. I will need to see them while testing. So the basic idea I had is to make this flat ride theme after the leg of an AT-80. So we will actually have the body, at least part of the body, up here too. That's just like a placeholder building at the moment, just to get the overall idea. You know what I mean? And so as you can see, it looks like as it swings, and obviously as we can put a ride sequence and also create a trigger sequence with that, I'm willing to make sure that this leg also is a little bit moving with it, like as if the knee is bending, if you know what I mean. But also I would love to do the same leg on the opposite side and make the same leg walk the opposite way of it, you know what I mean? It's going to be a very interesting task, but I'm not sure if we will get there today because people voted for the Grogu kind of area first. Whatever this is going to be like, you know, this is going to be very, very interesting to look at where this is going. No worries then, TSR Designs. Have good fun and enjoy your own building of a movie ride. So I'm also like very confused, but I think I'm going to not animate this middle piece. Like I will potentially put like now mud and stuff in the middle and make the mud be animated with it? Or shall we put... I'm very... It depends. What do you guys think? Do we put the mud in the middle, have the mud animated with it? Or let's just not animate the mud and then... I think I'm going to animate that with it, so it looks like part of the ride. That makes more sense. And obviously these things are going to be the baby pot, you know? These are going to be the baby pot. But the whole thing doesn't even look centered as a... We're going to see that. Like, let's have a look. So attach scenery, and we're going to say... Whoops, what is going on? Oh my god. Plant. And also, can you please stop... Oh my god. What the heck is going on? Wait. Stop. Attach scenery. There you go. And now we have the planter piece, which is that one. So we're going to align that here to the center. And I'm also very much confused to... If I change this to rotational. Ah, there you go. Okay, I think this is going to work fine. This is just going to... this is just going to work. Oh, perfect. Okay, so can we scale this? Okay, this is about the smallest we can get. Okay, fine. Then again, it doesn't matter. I'm going to do this. So what I'm willing to do is to give this like a bit of a mud area here in the middle. So let's do it that way. And then we're going to curl that over a little bit like this. I should have... It's fine. It's actually fine. It's actually fine. I can't really do much about that edge there. Maybe you're gonna put in some random rocks then, just to... I'm a Star Wars noob, Luca. Yes, sir. What the master say? Oh my god. You think I'm more of a Michael Mammoth American Horror Story person? You are. Oh my god. It's extremely necessary. That's one way to put it. Yeah. Okay. So if I do rotate this and then I'm going to align this as best as I can with this area here. It's going to be a bit of a... Actually, this is not going to work the way I thought it's going to be working, because obviously... Do we have any... I think I have to do it this way, right? I think this is the only way of doing it then. That's ugly. Nah, whatever. Let's do it this way then. Just gonna get this somehow into a bit of a soil thingy here. But yeah, it's eventually going to not look too great. Because it's sticking... I don't want it to be sticking out to the top here. I'm just gonna align that as best as I can. Here we go. And then we gotta see that this doesn't... Yeah. It's complicated. Let's do it that way. This is just as we can do it. And then we have to... It's a bit of a problematic thing to do. But okay, it's fine. We're just trying to get a solution in. So here we go. And then from over here, we can't just move it that way. We just have to bend that over and see that we just get in with it like that. Eventually this is going to look very crappy, but the reason why I'm doing this is mostly to make it look somewhat more nice, and also yeah, I mean, these pieces in the middle, we have to actually put some rocks or stuff in to hide these away as well, because otherwise this is going to look weird AF. But okay, we're just going to find a solution for that anyways. So let's bend that over a little more so that this is hidden. That looks not really tidy at all, but it's actually okay. It's actually okay from a distance. It's not that bad. So yeah, as you can see, it kind of sinks in there and it just comes up again because it's not fully. I mean, how would I get this fully done? Because it certainly, I mean, it certainly rotates with it. What about oh my god, okay, I gotta, oh my god, I gotta select just the pieces I need. Okay, so there we go. What about just moving them outwards a little more? How much do I need to put them out? Oh my god, look at, in order to get this done, this is basically what it is. Okay, I'm not going to do this. How about, so what about if I, oh my god, woo, bam, 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 bam. I think that's exactly what it is. It's not attached. No, it is attached. It actually is attached. I think it's more about how the rest of it moves. So the basic problem I have over here is that, can I... So yeah, these things are also like individual platforms. So what I would need to do in order to get this done, but I think this should be fine. Can I... Like, okay, first of all, we have to get the rotational gone. And we have to put the twinning on twins so that this is happening on all of the different ones, right? And then if I scale that one down, so what I would need to do is I would need to... And this is actually... Yeah, that's not done on all of these things, right? So I would need to do something like this in order to get this done properly. So I guess where's the sign? There's the sign. I would need to do it this way. And then I guess that is going to look also fine if I'm going to just connect this here. Like so. And now, obviously, if I'm going to bring that further, it's not really... Oh my god. I'm not even sure if it's properly aligned though, but I could just try to do my best to just make it... that looks weird. I think what I have to do is still... But it's not very much aligned to the same... I mean, so what I would need to do is I would need to just align this properly to the elements, but there's like no straight line. The only thing I can do is try to measure that by the ground pattern here as best as I can. Somewhat like this is good. And then, obviously, I would need to... Wait, hold on. I can't attach something to... Oh no, this is then these pieces, and they do also rotate again. Oh my god, no! So I would need to do that yet again with like these pieces like this, and then say rotational. And can I find the exact middle part? Is that the exact middle thing? This is looking horrendous. This is not looking any good. Also, that just doesn't solve the issue for all of these, right? Because it's clearly... Oh my god. Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen. I think what I will need to do is maybe solve that issue by putting more rocks and stuff in the middle. But like, there's no way of doing this otherwise, because like these things need to rotate and swing through these areas here. It just kind of... I mean, I have an idea how to do that. I have an idea how to do that. I think there is a way of doing it. But first of all, I have to say goodnight to my wife. And then I'll be back with you guys. I have an idea how to solve that. It should be working. It should be working. There is an idea. There is an idea I have. Okay. I'll wait for Rudy's opinion. Maybe he can tell if I should. Hold on. What do you should you do, Luca? Do you want should watch Star Wars? Quick person in school always got called Jabba the Hutt. Oh my god. Yeah, Jabba the Hutt. But yeah, because this is not a good thing to be called that way. And Tuggy, building a dome without triangles is hard. Yeah, and I hate it. So if you don't attach it, that was a good question. It is attached right now, and if I don't attach it, it might be better, but then we have the issue with the rotational thing. What will be eventually the solution is going to be grabbing myself these things and making like a bit of a triangular thing here, and then do the same on the other side, just like so, and then making sure that these things now do connect to here. And oops, no, that I need that one. Yeah, exactly. So that goes here, and I'm going to do the same on the other side, and that is all I can do, that they meander in its like into each other always. And then same goes for that one. I would need to just make that like bend like this. And then for everything else, I have to kind of get rid of twinning and just put a couple more rocks in. But I think this let alone over here is already much better. So we are almost there. We still have that little thing coming out, but this looks kind of cool. That looks really almost like how I thought it's gonna look, with the earth moving nicely. I think maybe the solution is to raise everything a little more nice, or we just plop in a couple more like things in the middle, like logs or rocks over here. I think at this point we're gonna find a solution for that. So all right, guys, let me just quickly say goodnight to my wife, and then I'll be back with you. Choo! And you also have to watch Star Wars, bro. There's no way around this. Okay, where is the be back soon thingy? There we have it, and I'll be back. It's kind of a, is it a slug? It's kind of a slug, but it's definitely more like a monster. I'm just gonna put this like so. Awesome. Be back in a sec. Well, I guess I have to explain the concept of life to my wife again. It's a bit hilarious because she knows that I'm live and she knows that I'm actually just trying to say goodnight to her. But like every single time she's like, oh, can you please do that? And can you please, oh, and there's that. And can you also please do that? And I'm like, hey, they're just sitting there staring at an empty screen. Yeah, but can you do that? Whatever. Yeah, I almost like cleaned the leg is swinging, yeah. It felt like I did clean the whole house now. There you go. That's matching over there. Well, at least I got a little tweet here, so that's fine. Okay, let's continue. I'm pretty happy with this for now. I may. Can I? If I grab this. Yes, that works. So what about if I put this one on here? And then I'm just going to grab this. I'm going to see if that works. If I do put this like so, I'm just going to see where this is going, how this is moving. It's just a bit of an idea, you know. I'm just going to test something like that. And then if I wait, hold on, oh, this works. Okay, so good to know. I'm just wondering if we might do this just green, maybe darker. There you go. And then scale this down, bring this down, just so that there is a bit of greenery in between. And then what, like a swing, but I'm not. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, let's see where this is going. Oh, hold on. Why is this? This looks a little bit odd with the leg, but with the lock. But it's actually doing the trick. To be honest, it just does what it does, and I'm kind of okay with this. I should be able to. How do I select lock again? There you go. Tree giant branch. Okay. So it's a giant branch. Let's do that again. And say branch. I'm actually kind of confident that this was the solution I was looking for. So if we put in a bit of a couple of branches here and there, they will obviously move with the whole thing, but it doesn't really matter too much. We can just about do this and then just ever so much. Whoops. I'm not sure if that works, but if we put these green as well, yeah, there you go. Get a bit of a different greenery in there as well. I mean, maybe some more moss pieces would have been good. I'm just going to stick these down below just so that we have a bit of movement covered also by greenery. Let's have a look. I'm just going to see if that works. And then the question is which one I'm going to attach that to. Did I attach that to the correct one? Because if it's not in the correct item, hold on. Okay, so that is in the correct one. Okay, so that makes the whole thing a little bit more helpful. So a throbbing lock. I'm not sure if that's safe to work. Yeah. You get the idea. You get the idea. Okay, so this one is going to be rotated this direction. And let's try to meander in here a little bit like this. And then just like so. I'm going to put in some more like bracken or so as well, just to get this whole theme started a bit more. I'm just going to say that this is turning out a little better than I thought, considering I had no idea how to do this before stream. And I'm fine with this. Like, if this is going in here a little, I'm actually fine with this, because I consider if they do this in real life, this would be some kind of rubber mat, you know, like these kind of very flexible rubber mats that only look like this, and also these branches wouldn't be real, obviously. But I think this technically would work, that if they swing, this is just like basically just a bit of a rubber band kind of thing, and you could definitely go in and that would work. So let's continue with some woodwork, actually. So if I'm going to put this branch here, we should be able to just about put that one in here too. So yeah, who's dead, Master Engineer? What do you say? What's going on? Why dad? You're not dad. Are you dad? I'm a dad, but I'm not dad, you know. Not yet, though. I'm sorry. No pun intended. Just a lot. Okay, so this one could be nice. I'm just going to say I need another object, and now let's type in. Do we have bracken? Yes, we have. So what about making the bracken a little smaller, placing that in, and now let's move this thing in. I don't want to make this move too much. Hold on. There you go. This is what I want to do. And then why is this? This stick to surface has to be turned off as well. I'm just going to make you smaller. I can't make you smaller than that. That's a shabby thing. Anyways, just get a couple more bracken pieces in here. To what Lucas said, oh my god, welcome and oh my god. Turning out better than I thought before stream, seeing how you thought nothing of this before stream, that's pretty low bar. Yeah, but that's just how politics in Germany work as well. They don't set a bar and then they still manage to not match that bar. And at least I managed to get over that bar, you know what I mean? So, okay, so there is another spot that we need to fill, which is in between here. Let's actually do the rock. And let's see if we can have a mossy rock for that. Let's just use this one. But why is this showcasing that? Oh, is it because we're still in that? I just need to go and say attach scenery. And we're going to have that mossy rocky. Let's use, my god, that's fairly big, but that's okay. We can just go with this, and I'm just going to move that in here. I think it works pretty fine. Like if I put this in here, just a little bigger, we get this kind of nice mossy texture in between. Let's just make that move. Just kind of moves with it, that's okay. So we've almost done it. So like there's a little gap that every now and then exists, so maybe I'm just going to plop another one from here to it. Wait, no, that is okay. That's exactly where I want it to be. Let's do it that way, and let's see. It just comes up and down, couple of blocks moving with it. There is just that tiny gap appearing every now and then here. Wait, what was that? It's just between a couple pieces. There you go. This is where we need to fix something in. Let's wait until this is appearing again. There you go. We need to fill in something here too. So let's see if I can get another piece right into position. Maybe we make this smaller and then just about have it like so. Okay, that is really cool. What I want to do now is I want to get a couple more pieces to the center element, and then I want to have this like, yeah, this is obviously rather ridiculously big, but I think what would be cool is, and now the question is, yeah, there you go. I wanted to get this in here, and then just so that this sticks out a little bit here and there, you know, just not too much, just to kind of make sure the center is nicely adjusted to that. I'm also willing to have a bit more mossy pieces in here, but for the moment this bush is doing good work for me. That one is actually a crappy piece because the LODs on these things are just like very, very bad and very poor. So this is also why that always is a bit of a pity. So I'm just gonna put a couple of bracken in. This one is a nice piece though, so I'm just going to have more of these in here, so that is kind of nice and overgrown. So they will just rotate, they will not move with the rest, so that this should give a good effect. And then let's have a look if we get a couple other pieces in there. I like this piece because it has a good green tone, and I'm wondering like if I get this like a, yeah, there you go, we get a good contrast in here. This is less of a forest, more of a bog. What is a bog though? I don't know the name bog. What does that mean? Because we're not yet we are obviously not yet there. It's just like making sure that this looks kind of good for the moment being. So let's have a look if that just, yeah, absolutely. This is what I wanted to have over here, and now we can just call it a day. And what we can do is we can now finally build this overhanging log. Just going to give you a bit of an idea again, is that one. Oh my god, this is going to be, so it is actually going just straight over. And there is that kind of river underneath, which, yeah, we won't get this river in, but what we could do is like a tiny bit of a puddle or like a water piece in the center. I mean, we wouldn't get any water in. What we could do is we could fake like a little water feature, maybe even in the midst here. I think this is what I want to do real quick. And also let's start the recording again. Whoops. And then let's type in water, which should be... There's the water piece I was looking for. So we're just going to do this and plop this here in the center. This is going to be a nice little feature. So you're just going to have that here. And I think it's going to... Wait. Hold on. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Are these all connected? Okay. You can barely see them, so... I'm just going to create a group out of this. So it's a, what the fuck, a swamp, you know, like Dagobah, Yoda's place. I mean, well, then it is a bog. You're right. That is absolutely, that makes sense. How did I click on Hyperspin? I did not. I did click on that little water feature. Water feature it is. Spooky. No, it's not Spooky Vines. It's Scenery Group. There you go. My God. These things have a terrible hitbox. I'm gonna type in rock because I felt like these ones, the mossy ones, will come in super handy in our build here. Can you color the plates beneath the cars like water? That could be a thing, but the problem is I think I already tried to color them and they're not flexi color in that sense. But we can still double check in a moment. So I'm willing to give this a go here. So just that is, I think, will help to sell the idea anyways if we have this all done. And then just like rotate and rotate and rotate this that way. And then just have like a small edge coming in here. Oh, okay, well I can't really do that, can I? I can only have that like straight edge to this side. Oh, and then it's pretty similar to the other one, which is not too bad. I mean... This comes in very handy, this piece. It's a very good piece, to be honest. A very interesting piece. I mean, it's like almost carbon copy of the other one, but it's actually decent. Good stuff. Okay, so there are like a lot of pieces we can use here. So, oh, these are different. Oh, I never knew we have different ones. We've got taiga. We've got different mossy rocks. Wait. Oh, I'm not like what? Oh, we have temperate. I never noticed that. This is like actually stupid of me, but I never noticed. I mean, they obviously look a bajillion times better, don't they? Oh my God, yeah. Okay, well, that is pretty damn stupid of me. So, wait, hold on. This is where the... Oh my God. Okay, well. Yeah, that's been incredibly stupid. Incredible. Yeah, well, if I... Oh my God. These swing gondolas, I mean, yeah, you can. Like I said earlier, I'm trying my best to, you know, give them all sorts of styling that I can, but I'm not sure if I can make this look like water because you can't change the color of the silver. It's like you know. I mean, we could put plates down here and attach them to the things itself, right? Wait, hold on. If I type in water again. Attached to Hyperspin, and then the question is, how do I... Okay, so this is then basically the ride itself. I could... This is just like for testing reasons, right? This is like the water piece, so I could theoretically do it this way, but then obviously I wouldn't use that one. I would need to use a water piece like this. That looks better than I thought it was. Like if you've got that one as water, but apparently we would need to do and use that one. So, hold on, I'm just going to test this. This is actually a better idea than I thought. I thought it's gonna look worse than that, but I am here to learn as well as you are. So let's see where this is going. I mean, also because we can. Oh wait, okay. Is this these four now? Yeah, okay, fine. So let's just bring that to that center here, and then it's going to scale them up until we are about to, okay, let's say here, and then just about get this down so that these things are not in the water. This is actually kind of cool. This could actually get a really cool effect if that works. So hold on. I'm going to see what happens if I make this a little brighter even and less. That's a good color. Let's do it. And now, very importantly, we gotta have to do this twinned. There you go. Is it always like correctly aligned? Oh, it is actually. Oh, this is going to be good. Okay, so props to that idea. This could be very interesting. And you know what we actually could do, because hold on, that is a pretty good idea. So if I go back to that thing, it is basically that one log. We could make this one log now go from here to here somehow, and or like from here some, yeah, maybe this is even better, and then we actually would have the water stream below that. That is a very good idea. That is a very, very good idea. Okay, never mind. I love that idea. I love that idea. So we're going to utilize these pieces then as well. They will be paired, obviously. And I'm going to try to see if I can scale them small enough. So is this properly aligned to the piece itself? It's not. Okay, so how do I get this done that this is actually aligned to the piece? Because it's not aligned to the rotation, is it? That is a bit of an issue. I will have to solve. Look, why is it not perfectly aligned to? I gotta get this done, but it still looks a little odd, doesn't it? Okay, but is it aligned to? Yeah, okay, at least this is working. Now I can put this more in the center. It doesn't matter. It can actually overlap. The only thing is I want to have the outside look okay. So I am... How does it look if they overlap? Oh, you can't even tell if they overlap, right? Because I'm now thinking, what happens if I use these, scale them all the way up? Yeah, that might actually be too big. I was just thinking, like, if I could do it this way. Yeah, but that might actually be too big. So... see what I mean? It's like I wanted to, but yeah, it doesn't obviously work because of the, how big can I... Why can I make these things so hilariously big? I mean, not that it would make any sense, but... Okay. Let's get rid of these. I'm just like... Let's see how that looks if they move with... Oh my god, it just stopped. Okay, but... nice that the metal texture is there too. Looks kind of realistic. We may be able to tell you if Grogu wasn't up in your face. Oh, yeah. We all love some Grogu in the face, right? Okay, so this is now the water. It just kind of works. That really does kind of work. Did not expect this to happen, but it's okay. So what actually is a bit of a pity, and this is something we gotta solve. It's still not properly aligned with the piece for whatever odd reason. So this is where we have to do this. So it's gonna be aligned with both sides. We're gonna get rid of this one, and we're going to move that in. Now the question is, how do we get this properly aligned to here so that it rotates and moves nicely with it? So is it actually a thing of connecting this here? I'm just trying, okay? I'm just trying now if that works. So I'm just going to see it that way. I mean, yet again, we will have the issue to fill in the gaps here, but I'll try to find a solution for that one too. So here goes this. And now, obviously, the question is, how do we fill these gaps over here? So I assume that is just something we could do with these edges. And now it's actually getting a little complicated here, but we're going to try our best to get this alignment as best as we possibly can. So that would be it. And I'm just going to bring this in and just about so. That sits nicely in here, doesn't it? Okay, is that paired already? Did I have it paired? Or is it just... Why is it only on that corner? It should be twinning. Okay, but... Hold on, why is it... Why is it so weird? Is it because of... Oh, wait. I can't do this because... this is just rotating with it. No, that's not going to work. Okay. We need colorable metal flooring. Yes, indeed. Also, hello there. Mr. Leaf Production. That looks neat. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what I put myself into. But hold on. These things do rotate with it then as well, right? Oh my god. Yeah, they do. Okay, so this does not work. I have to find a different solution for that. I basically already know the solution. We gotta have to use these pieces from in here. We got to use them twins, and we got to use them in a way that we just kind of align them to this piece instead of the other, and then do the exact same thing that we did before. But I'm just hoping that, like, because they do act weirdly to each other, this could look potentially a bit odd now if that... Yeah, and then they come up a little bit like you know, that is a bit odd. Okay, snap it. That is a bit weird. So there's actually no way to get below these rotational platforms without them being rotational the whole time, obviously. So the freaking solution, VK Alize, good evening. Hello there. Hi there from Belgium. Hello. The solution so I guess the solution is to keep it that way and just pretend that this is the water. We can only just fill in that piece of the cake right now and then just try our best to pretend that this is good looking. So I assume it would be nice to just have about, like as best as I can here with the edge. Or do I use this piece for it? I think that would be the best way to just overlap a little. I think that is going to look better than not. I think it is. So what is this? What is this movement here? Why is this still... Where is this coming from? Oh, because I'm attached to the wrong piece here. Okay, so never mind me then. I need to be in here and then copy that one and be here, right? Yeah, that is more likely it. And now let's just grab that piece and bring that in. I think this is what we got to do. This is the only option I see, and maybe making this thing just bigger is helping a little as well. So I think this could be potentially of a help. Just making it work like this. And then, yeah, at some points, like here, it'll obviously not fit because of the rotation of the piece itself. Like I would need to get the rotation changed a little bit, as you can see. But then it is meandering in the center, which I don't really like. So, Hi there from England. Hi there to England, Sarah. How are you doing? How is everyone doing in the chat? Rudy, have you ever been to Bobbejaanland? Yes, I have. To Bobbejaanland, I have. To Wallaby, Belgium, not yet. And I am very desperate to go there, but not yet having had the chance to. And Bobbejaanland is very, 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 very long ago. Like very long ago, okay? Like very long ago. Like super, super duper very long ago. Okay, so yeah, as I said, this is going to be the solution I have And there's not really much more I can do about this. So we're going to pretend that this is fake water, obviously. And so that gives us the idea of a bit of a lake here, or water area. I'm okay with this. I dig this. I think this is a good idea. This is actually a good idea. This is going to look good. No worries about this. And it just kind of makes sense. It's maybe you can argue it's like a foil of some sort or so. It's good. I wish we were able to put like some other stuff in here, but I prefer to do it that way. I mean, obviously what I could do, but then these things would rotate. I mean, let's see. Let's just see how that looks. If I select all of these... Hello? Mixed selection. You're kidding me, right? How is this 14 pieces? This is 1. Okay. Can I... Okay. 1... 2. Why is it all of a sudden saying like what? That is a mistake, or is that just because of when I click 2 that it just... Oh, it does count. Okay, so this is why. So I did click correctly. Okay, now I get it. The number of pieces told is actually including the parent because it's twins. That actually makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. But I wasn't sure that I did also count the twin. So the twin persons pieces are actual pieces. Never mind me. That's my mistake. Just to be sure, was it long ago? It was long ago. Very long ago. If that makes sense. Hello, can I click on this? Yeah, there you go. Now, what if I just scale that a little bigger and sink that in further? I'm like wondering how that looks because is it actually centered? Then it would work. It's a little bit off center. It's doing interesting flicker work here. It's almost like a flicker man. But I think I'm going to keep it this way. I think this is a very, very good way of doing it. I mean, these things are going to become themed a lot more than that already. So that means they look actually different because of it being that little pot as well. So I'm all good with this. Lee, good evening to you. Some glass pieces. Yeah, that could also work. But I think the way it is fine. I'm just like, can I get rid of the flicker a little by raising or sinking the pieces a little? Okay, I think there is basically no way of getting rid of the flicker other than just about this. And now it's a little bit... Oh my god, it's starting all over again. I don't mind the flicker then. It is what it is. It is what it is. Okay, so this is the ride. Let's not focus too much because then otherwise we are just still doing that ride next week. I'm kind of okay with how that turned out, but now we have to build that log on which Grogu is sitting. And obviously I'm willing to not add this to the building, but I'm willing to just start this log somewhere. So what we are going to do, we're just going to start out... Oh my god. We're going to start out with this piece in the center. There you go. And I think what might make sense is to just make that thing a little bit of a bigger log all of a sudden already. So it's going to be the big ball thingy in the middle. Water flickers. Water flickers, water flickers. This is going to be the big one in the middle, the tree giant here. And now what we're going to do is we're going to make this roundish way around. But now the question is, which piece do we use for that? I think I'm going to start with this one because it has that nice little area to begin with. So let's just actually make that a little bigger and then try to hide that as best as we can in this center here. And this is also why I wanted to have this in, and then the rest can rotate with this piece, but that one is actually going to be here. So that is actually pretty good. This is good because it has the clearance below, and it gives me the option to put like Grogu on top of it. Grogu needs to be rather big in comparison to make it visible. Let's see how it Yeah, that works because he does also look rather sizable on that too, so that is okay. So we're going to continue on that one. So how's this thingy looking? This one is the perfect piece for the next bit here. So I'm just going to make that smaller, and now this is going to be the piece on which Mr. Grogu is going to sit. So let's just about see that we added this exactly in here. And then just sink it down so that there is still enough clearance. Awesome. We're just going to bring this kind of, yeah, there you go. There you go. We're going to put something else in here, but like, that's going to be freaking fun. And now if I rotate this around, this kind of gives me the vibe I wanted to go for. There you have it. And now the only question is, what can we do to make this look good to the downs? I think this one is a good piece. Are you ever gonna collab with Lady again? I wish. Like, let's put it differently, because I want to say something for Lady here. That's not fair. So Lady and I are basically chatting, I would say, almost every single day. The only reason why we haven't been doing a collab is because she has been struggling for a while with streaming in general, like with streaming and YouTube and doing videos and, you know, sorting out real life stuff and so on, which is totally fair. We haven't done a collab at the beginning because Planet Coaster 2, frankly, was just too bad, and not everyone wanted to build in this game. And also, as you know, I also had a very hard time at the beginning to get into the groove of the game. And I think now we are just waiting, we are all patiently waiting for what Frontier is cooking with Planet Zoo 2. And so, yeah, well, let's see when Planet Zoo 2 has been released, and let's see how everything goes. And maybe there's a potential then we would be able to do a little collab that would be fun for all of us. But I think, you know, given time and situation and real life situation, it all has to kind of match to make it a good moment. You know what I mean? It's not like that we do not want. It's more a thing of we all grew and we all got older, and it's been 10 years now since we started doing YouTube, and the novelty of it has worn out quite dramatically. And that's not to say that we don't have fun. It's just like we mind our own businesses a bit more than we used to being, because it all became, for some people, it became literally a job. For other one, it's kind of a side hustle. And then people have, you know, to focus on their own stuff as well. And like, there's a lot of reasons that go absolutely beyond that. Like, it's not that we don't want, it's just like it has to fit the situation, fully saying it this way. And that very situation has not been the case since then. I think that's simple as it is. Like, there's not much more behind that. I will actually do. I also told her she should have a little sneak into the stream, maybe do a lurk or so. But I guess she's maybe asleep, I don't know. But like, I know that she wanted to think of streaming again. She enjoyed that live stream she did, like for the 10-year anniversary, quite a lot. So maybe that gives her the strength and the powers and the will. Because, as I said, I enjoy streaming quite a lot, guys. And despite the fact it's not working as intended, I thought it's going to be quicker in terms of having more people on stream. I literally thought, though, it doesn't really matter at all, because I enjoy streaming so much since I started again. It's very unlikely that I'm stopping, because it honestly gives me a lot. I'm not sure if I can keep these 3 streams a week for so long. I don't know. And most likely in summer, there's going to be a break of that anyways. But in all honesty, chatting with you guys over here and talking about this is so good. She's not gone. She still has you. Yeah, and she's doing considerably great, considering she is only uploading every now and then and has like a very slow-paced schedule at the moment. People are aware of that, and so they're acting as that, and this is doing wonders for her. She's doing really good, and really having a good time coming back into that kind of YouTube thing on a very slow, moderate, doable pace, which I absolutely am loving to see. I'm also loving to see because that gives me hope that YouTube allows for those things still to happen, because otherwise this would be like, this is a nightmare place to be in otherwise. So let's kind of create a nice little pattern here. I think that will look kind of cool. Do. So what about... okay, well, yeah, never mind. 1, 2, 3. Just select all of those, create a group. I hardly watch YouTube, so much Twitch going on. Oh yeah, so you're mainly on Twitch. So that means I actually brought my content back to you then, Osterfey, because obviously I haven't been streaming for way too long. So now you caught me again. That is very good to know. Very good to know. Very good to see. It's kind of funny though, because obviously, knowing that Twitch has been around all the time, I kind of stopped growing on, or trying to, not growing in general, but I stopped trying to grow on Twitch after all these kind of partnership shenanigans and the fact that you, like, I'm not sure if is it still the case that if you're partnered with Twitch, that you're not allowed to upload your VOD or your stuff within the next 48 hours of your stream to YouTube or so, because that for me was like the deal breaker, that I wasn't able to put my VOD and my stuff next day on YouTube because Twitch was like, nah, not gonna happen. So if that still is the case, I obviously would not even want to push for partner anyways. But I like that was in the time where I thought it's going to be cool also to be partner on Twitch, but it was always good to focus on one big platform at the time, and it was never a good idea to focus on too much. And so this is actually the only reason I'm now doing this is because Twitch now allows the multi-streaming, so does YouTube, and so because that works, I'm back on Twitch. Like, I still do believe that Twitch is the way better streaming platform, don't get me wrong, but at the size I am at and the fact that I'm not a partner on Twitch and I'm not even too keen on becoming one, I don't see the point why I would neglect YouTube audiences for the live stream, while I can use stuff like Restream to just essentially do that. I also found a way to do this stream setup without Restream, and I can literally just set it up myself with OBS, which is definitely something I'm going to look in for the future. The only issue will be the chat, but I'm looking into getting another screen, my 4th screen actually in here. I know it's stupid, but it's going to be helpful. And then I'm going to see if I can have both chats open at the same time. That actually should do work. I mean, it's kind of cool to have both, not gonna lie, but it is really not necessary, is it? So yeah. So let's. Oh my god, it's so good how big you can size these things is just so good. And considering the texture isn't too important because of that mossy overlay, I'm all good for keeping it that way. Look at that. This is looking good. This is becoming a very, very nice queue area, isn't it? So Grogu is going to sit on top of here. So that's going to be interesting. Let's see what else we can have. I like these pieces to just scatter them across here. Maybe not here. Maybe just to have a bit of a nice... I quite like that, to just give the whole area a bit of a texture, you know? I may actually put them in more places. Like we can also have some bark on these things here to just get the texture of those implemented nicely. What about if I do this all the way biggy and then bring that in? Hold on. Just like... okay, it's not really... But it does give a bit of texture, which is said. I've said this before, but your channels were a really safe place for me to go. You guys never swore like the YouTubers did. They were just fun, feel-good videos. I mean, it's not like that I never swear, but I'm trying to reduce it to a minimum. And if it is, you really, the game has to really annoy me quite a lot. So we should still be the same safe spaces as in the past, you know. Seeing how you miss half the chat by coming chat, I'd say have both chats are needed. That's true, but what I meant is I can do this having both chats. At the moment, it's one combined chat, which if it's getting quicker, hopefully in the future it's getting quicker because more people watching, both chats will actually help. That's true. That's true. And you can also see which channel is which. Also, you can see how much I was distracted again because I never finished that little water bottom here in the middle, but never mind because now we found the solution. We're going to use these bark pieces here because they will look fantastic over here as a nice little wall piece. Look at that. Almost as if it's been made for that. Can I make this even bigger? I can. I sure can. That is so good. Look at you. That is fantastic. I'm also willing to get rid of the railing here. That is definitely something I'm going to do, but I do need the railing still in order to make sure that I know where the queue goes, but I definitely want to put like some... Actually, you know what? We can just... Never mind if it's not going to stay the same, but I'm like... This is definitely the wrong type of... This one is more likely it. This one is absolutely going to be it. This is the fairy tale fence that looks like the perfect fence for in here. Because it's this like kind of used, mossy, old kind of vibe. Look at that. Ricky Venturafully, hello there. Oh my god, Bliskit92 is raiding. Thank you so much. Welcome on in, everyone, from the raid. Hello, and sorry for just completely messing up the name. That's just what I do. This is just like the stream is called the I cannot pronounce your usernames properly stream. And we do eventually click a couple pieces down in Planet Coaster 2 here. So, yeah, that's what it is. So, welcome to the mispronunciation stream. Anyways, Ricky, good evening to you as well. I'm very glad to have back with Planko, no fan of Zeus IRL or in game. Oh, okay, so this is that. Yeah, I'm very curious to see how the situation goes on when Planet Zoo 2 arises and is going to see the light of day. Because... I said this earlier in stream today when I started. I'm not sure if you caught that, but I said I reached a point now where I am not able to play Planet Zoo that much anymore. As much as I love the game and loved the game over all these years, I reached that point where Planet Coaster 2 is just so much better in every single way that I'm just having a way too hard time to genuinely think of playing Planet Zoo. And I don't think this is gonna happen with Planet Zoo over Planet Coaster 2 because the games are too close to each other this time around. So last time there was always almost like 4 years in between, and now there's like only 2 years in between, which will come in handy for keeping the momentum for both games going in a way. And I do hope, and I'm praying to Frontier that they did listen to us, because I remember when we were talking about this in the past, we already suggested to Frontier that if they do it correctly, they should do some sort of Planet Zoo launch collaboration with Planet Coaster as well. Like, as in, why not have a basic crossover in both directions? Like, for example, having the German, I'm sorry, I'll get to your message in a bit, Bitskit92. Having the Planet Zoo 2 assets, let's say a couple of, likely be foliage pieces and stuff, like 20, 30 foliage pieces, and equally for Planet Zoo 2, have a launch pack of, let's say, a carousel and a track ride and a couple of vending machines from, or like maybe even an arcade piece or two, so to have that crossover and send people from one game to the other, I really do hope, and we also told them it is totally fine to reuse pieces. Like, why not use these pieces we have over here, the tree giants and stuff? Why not give them to us in Planet Zoo 2? Why would you gatekeep these things if you have them? There's absolutely no reason for that. And so hopefully, at least for a little, they did listen to us and do deliver on that, because then both games would actually be benefiting from each other, not only from a game perspective, but also from a financial perspective, because I am very certain that there's a huge audience who has played Planet Zoo that still does not know of Planet Coaster's 2 existence, or if so, they don't know how good the game actually is, which is understandable, because why would you need to go there? You know, there's no real point in that. Anyhow, sorry, I'm just gonna get to your message now. Thank you for the raid again, Bliskit. I think this is how you said that, Bliskit92. Are you actually born in 92? Because if so, I don't feel as old anymore. You're just 2 years younger than I am. I'm gonna try to translate that in real time. Okay, so hello. I'm just being so sneaky, and I'm just writing in German. Even if I know that normally you do have to speak English in here. Your pronunciation was actually kind of okay. I'm not like that picky about it. Hello. I just take the liberty of writing in German. Okay, you did. You did also literally translate that, so I was translating the translation. Okay, shall I do this in French now? Okay. It was all good. Nice trick with the railing for a guide. Hadn't thought of that. Hello there, Rich Blinn. Good evening to you. Imagine the next game of the two Planet Coaster would be the madness. Not ever going to happen in my dream. So, I would be so not bold, but in my mind, if Frontier is going to, if they want to succeed, okay, let's put it differently. Do you guys think they would? I mean, it depends a little bit on how the technical advancements is going, but I would say there is no way to get away with another separate game of each after Planet Zoo 2 and Planet Coaster 2. I mean, these games just have had such a leap over the years. For me personally, a Planet Coaster 3 or a Planet Zoo 3 would be one game. It's gonna be Planet Resort or Planet Theme Park or whatever. There is no way that if, you know, technical advancements, computing power and stuff is keeping the same pace, you will have enough computing power to have a game like that with everything in one. Certainly, Frontier doesn't know how to do the management anyway, so this can be, I'm just kidding, but like, you know, management always is a bit of an issue. So certainly that wouldn't be the strongest point of the game anyway, so why not then bring them both into each other, at least to have all the options. But I do get it, and I mostly get it from the management point of view, not even from the game's point of view. Sandbox is only a little issue, but like, imagine how much of a weird game that would be to have both perspectives, where you have to really work on a functioning theme park at the same time with animals. And then, I mean, obviously you could go crazy with all the different demands. So, for example, noise pollution, and also obviously air pollution and stuff from that, which is no factor in Planet Coaster, because, you know, let's be real, no one who goes into a theme park would be annoyed by the noise pollution, because you're absolutely aware of that. You even want to hear the screams of the coasters being launched and so on. But that's not the case if you go to a zoo. In the zoo, however, you obviously would consider a stinky smell and so on not being an issue, and you even go there for the popcorn of the bean too wrong. But at the same time, if you go to a theme park, you're not necessarily there for some stinking animals or stinky people, despite the fact there's no real choice you have, but you get the point. And so this is why I cannot select this piece, because whatever. No, I'm just stupid, it seems. Yeah, so I would say that there is absolutely a need that if this is gonna happen, there needs to be a Planet Resort of some sort. Otherwise, there is just, I don't know how you would argue this. If you could even argue this, I don't think you could. No coaster scaring animals will be yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. Like how would you argue that? What would be the preferred one? Or do you have to build a zoo in one scenario and then a theme park in the other one? Or when do you mix them? What is actually the mix? Because, like, are there really that many zoos in the world that have a theme park, or vice versa? That's an open question. I actually don't know. But I don't really think there is, like, too much of that in the real world. Is there? I don't know. I really don't know. Like, how is that? Like, can you... I mean, I do know, obviously, Disneyland... Animal Kingdom is obviously one of the most prominent ones. Copyright-free mouse theme park, Animal Kingdom. Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I meant. There is not really that much. I'm still so used to having the headphones one. Anyways, unfortunately, I gotta go out of already. My alarm goes off at 6, and after that, I got about 11 hours ahead of me of wishing everyone a lot of fun. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid again. Did you tell me if you are born 92? Because you didn't, and I needed to know that. That's the last thing I need to know. Then you're free to go to bed. More so, animal attractions are a theme park. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That is, yeah. I mean, how often does this happen? I mean, the other way around, like Paradisa, for example, which is like a crazy themed zoo by now, and a lot of zoos are going to do that. So this is definitely something more relevant, I guess, at this point. But the other way around, I don't see that happening. In the Netherlands, we have like wildlands with coma coasters, but it's an animal park. Okay. Oh, you are. Okay, good. So I don't feel that old anymore. Thank you so much. This is just very important to me. No, I'm just kidding. It's like our generation carrying the media, anyways, these days. So I shouldn't be too surprised. I shouldn't be too surprised. These pieces are like, but I mean, junior boomerangs. How are they? Like where they are positioned? Like I'm really a noob. I don't know, but are they close to animals? And which animals? I mean, obviously certain animals don't give a crap about noises and stuff. Like these are the coolest animals in the world, and they don't mind anything. That is fine. But like obviously there are a lot of animals that just absolutely do not like noise pollution whatsoever. In which totally is understandable, you know. I need a Planet game. I've been live the building of these for example, Planet Lake, Planet Cinema, Planet Studios. I mean, there is a new Planet game coming out next year, so we definitely will see a new type of Planet game, which I'm very curious to learn what that is, because I certainly have no freaking idea what that is going to be. I'm very curious. I have absolutely no idea. Like this tiny rumor of Planet Coaster 3 is absolutely, it's weird. It's not gonna happen. By the way, I have a weird feeling here that this might actually be too low. Yeah. Let's have a look. Yeah, that is not enough clearance. People would have an issue. Oops. Let's just raise that. You raise me up. I don't know the text of it. You raise me. Okay, sorry. My voice is clearly not made for this song. It's my voice is not made for any song, but that never stopped me. Outside and not beside the animal. Okay, and the kitty boomerangs are not so noisy. Yeah, that's true. They're not so noisy, anyways. But still, like, I think you get the point. It's more about that, like, overall idea of it. I mean, I get it. I still stay true to what I said. I don't believe you could get away with like doing 2 individual games. But then again, what I said is like, how likely is it to have both? Planet Red Light District. I mean, that would work. The audience for that is growing bigger and bigger these days, with certain people in power and certain things happening in the world. So I guess. Okay. We are getting there. I like the fact how this is turning out so far. Okay, so this is going to be like the meandering way through here. I'm willing to make this all look supernatural, and not supernatural, but supernatural, I guess. So we do make this maybe the... I think what I'm going to do first is like, let's just use this invisible cube brush. There we have that. Where these? Where are they? Why are they still? Wait, hold on. Isn't there like a... Oh wait, I need to... This is why, right? Curb is gone. There you go. No curbs, no whatever. So here we go. Here we go. So let's just get rid of all of these things. So that's that, and then the queue can meander all the way around here. Okay, so that is nice. That is very nice indeed. So this is where the queue goes. Ah, that is so cool. That's gonna be such a Disney-esque build over here. I think we pay tribute to that one nicely. The only question is how good is the gravel looking? Can we actually make it work? Huh. Pebbles. Rock. Grass. Huh. Planet cruise ship. At this point, actually, this one would actually be the best, but my issue is I thought the gravel is gonna be good, but the gravel apparently is color-wise not. Okay, I think I'm gonna still go with gravel because it's the most realistic one, but we have to work a lot with the decals and stuff now in order to make that look good, and we're going to blend in a lot more soil than I thought we were, but that is gonna be good. So look at that. This is going to be the queue area. We still need to have a bit of a fence here. I'm a little bit on the fence on how to do that, but this is going to be good. So we are on a good way of making this look really cool, guys. And most of all, and this is something I'm really proud of, this is really looking like a realistic type of queue. And this is something I wanted to do for such a long time. That is a queue that feels really realistic rather than, you know, just the type of heavily themed ones. But like if you just meander through here, you get a bit more space to stay in here, and for that, therefore I also need to edit this a little bit more, I guess. So yeah, the queue itself now looks really damn good. What we gotta do now is we gotta actually go in here and use the edit tool. So now you can see here are a couple of areas I would need to, so this is where the queue goes over. So what we could do is we can just gonna try and then move that all the way further out here. So just make that a little wider, you know, so that gives that a little bit of an area. And then the same goes here. Just gonna select this one. Gonna make that a little, whoops, a little wider. And then we're just gonna drag it all the way out here. So just about where it goes. So they have a bit more space here to stand, you know, we can just like, that is all good. And then Sketch Ant, thank you so much for Sketchy Ant. Thank you so much. It's looking good, right? And let's do the same here. Just meander that a little bit further out so they have a bit more space to just move. 40 likes on stream, guys. We are getting there. It's not really a good ratio today, but it's okay. At least the 50. Let's do at least 50. That would be fun. Okay. So also where we can get some more space is here. So this is where the queue, and quickly look at that. We can select this and align this so that people stand here a little nicer in the queue, which I think is good. Okay, now, as I said earlier, I'm going to use a bit more of the dirt now, because that looked kind of cool to have that in. So just about a little bit of dirt. And then we're going to throw in a lot of ground shrubs now, just to make that look very overground. We need some vines, we need all kind of stuff like this to just make that all look so much more realistic, I guess, at the end of the day. So here we have that. This one is going to stay the way it is, so we can throw some more stuff here in the corner. Planet Prison. I'll be up for that one. I love this prison architect games, so I love that. That is just peak. That's so peak. I love that. Absolutely adore this. Okay, so the queue is becoming really, really good looking now, guys. Really good looking. What I got to do in order to make this all look even so much better is we also need to establish a little bit of a backdrop here so that these weird kind of things look, oops, good to me. Oops, come on, I need to just rotate you the other way around. There we have that. Just bring that in. Okay, so that is good. I don't want to do it too much. I just want to make sure that this is more trees and stuff in the middle. So let me grab, I think I'm just going to use this one because that one has it's going to have like a huge root. There we go. And if we just bring that in here and then just use the other side. 43 likes. Look at that. The like ratio is starting to be better again. Guys, more likes, please. I'm just kidding. No, but actually, more likes. No, no, it's fine. I'm just joking, okay? I'm just joking. Nah. Okay, so this tree stuff is kind of okay. I think what I want is, because this is where I also think normal pathways could be put. Those 4 pieces over here don't make any sense anymore, so you gotta go. I think I'm gonna use the same method on this side though. And we're just gonna use that as a bit of a double fence, I guess. So let's do it this way. And then we can put some growing roots and stuff in between. Okay, so this is the base setup, and I think the last bit that is missing is like another bigger tree kind of canopy coming from this side. Don't be that guy. No one likes a like beggar. Like the stream. Do it now. Don't be that guy to like. Okay, have you seen my comment? I understand I can't see anything. Let's move up. I hate those areas in real queues. That's where not so nice people try to overtake you by pushing their kids ahead of you. I know, but this is like more behavior rather than a queue design, right? Leaf has started a series based on the AZA guidelines. Maybe you can start a series based on the theme park guidelines just before someone steals this idea. Great idea, but first of all, I have to finish my AZA build that Leaf kind of pushed me into, and it's still not finished because, oh boy, is that taking an eternity. And as I said, as I have a harder time playing Planet Zoo right now, this doesn't help to finish it. Honestly, I enjoy it, but I don't, if that makes sense. Okay, so this is the build as it looks. And I'm wondering right now if I do need a canopy in that back or if I don't. I'm just assuming that this thing over here could look good. If I create a huge thing out of this one and then go here, and it's kind of cool how that stands on its roots. I'm quite in love with this. So here, and if I use some other cool pieces for that, that's gonna be looking really good. Really, really good. Okay, let's get rid of these pieces here. I'm very fine with how that looks for the moment. What I will do now is I'm just gonna grab me some of these pieces, and I'm like wondering, why is this not aligning to this build? Because I wanted to do it this way, you know, because these pieces are so good. They're so good, and I wish that, yeah, they would have aligned properly, but they don't. I don't even want to use the rotational trick on here. But I also don't want to do it this way. This is gonna take forever. Forever. Okay, you can do it. Really looking forward to that video. Yeah, me too. Once it's done. So good. It's a good water. Oh, by the way, I should have put in a couple more of these fences in here. So, just so that this is kind of nice connected. I wish that, you know what, this could be a kind of security entrance over here. Let's just do that. Rope. Where is some rope? There is a rope. And then just gonna use that rope here. Somewhat like that, and then apparently that needs to be here. More likes to the stream. 46 likes. That's okay. We're almost like at 50. This is kind of the magical number. 50 for me is like a good number. 50 is okay. So here we got that. Like this is a rope, and then is that keep out? Keep out? No. Do not. Or maybe enter? No. Sign. There is like a keep out sign of some sort, or like a red sign to say not enter. There you have that. It's just a sign barrier. What the heck is a sign barrier? It's just like a sign, right? Stem only. There you have that. This is nice. This is nice. I wish that this could even be smaller than that, but I think this is fine. So we have that. Going to sleep now. Tomorrow I have school, and right after that I go to work. I can't breathe. Yeah, it is. Mitchell, have a good one. I won't be streaming for too long either. It's been a good stream so far. It's actually been a rather productive stream considering what we do else. But yeah, I'm also a little bit very tired. You should try on the enhanced move tool mod. I've been using it for a few days. It's really game changer. I know. The thing is, the only thing why I'm refusing to use it is because I know when I'm start to using it, there's no way back, and I'm just fearing that maybe the next bigger DLC is breaking something or so. But I know, I mean, also Mineral has already told me how great it is. Jesh has told me how great it is. Yonti has said how great it is. So yeah, what am I supposed to do? I will be using these trees now because I am... But they don't have the green tone I wanted to go for. I love them as for the texture and as for the tree itself. Like I could see me using this as in so, for example. I guess I will because they're looking so freaking good here. You know? Yeah, that's absolutely it. They give a very nice... They give a very nice thing in here. Oh, look at them. Just like... Yeah, they are too good. I have to use them. Ah, they're just way too good. Because this is exactly the kind of leaviness I wanted to have. This is actually good. This is actually pretty good. I have to find something that goes along with these things, but they just look too good. I always said that I love these pieces because they have such a great canopy on top. And they just form such a nice tall canopy. Which I guess is the perfect balance thing. Yeah, exactly whatever I was thinking. You just bring that in here in that middle part and that'll do the trick, right? Oh yeah. Oh yes. Oh yes indeed. That is pretty good. I really enjoy your ride prestige videos. It helped me with... which do you mean? I can't remember. You mean the... like the tutorial ones? Okay, so basically, as... I think another... Yeah, this one would be good here for the center, right? Let's just... have that go in here. Whoops. It's kind of nice that also the branches seem to really blend in nicely with the texture of these giant bark trees. They are a tad lighter, but not in the way that they're annoyingly light, so that is pretty good. That is really good. Let me just double check with that image of Grogu. I mean, obviously, there's a lot more growing from the ground, but I think color-wise, we can really get there. It's technically a little bit more green in the way that it would be darker, but I think as for the looks of it, I prefer going with these trees just because they're so good looking. You know? They're like so good looking. Yeah, let's see what else we have. Like there's a lot of different types of bushes and stuff we would need to throw down to just get an idea what type of green we need to have in here. Like as you know, I'm a big fan of the ash tree, but the ash tree doesn't come with the color we need. So this is kind of the foliage we need as well, but not the biggest fan of this color either. So these ones over here, they obviously work as great kind of vine pieces, and on the sides, that is definitely something I'm going to use. Yeah, that one is, I hate this piece. I absolutely hate them. They are not looking good at all. These pieces will be the ivy ones. They will be used quite a lot. So ivy is going to be plopped here on the ground because that is going to be a mega important bit to use. Here we get all these different pieces. So let's throw them all down. Is that the same as the other one? Yeah, this is that's that one. That's that one, that one. This is the one that's the one we were missing out on. And that one here. The flat ride video showing how to get the best prestige. Oh, that one. Yeah. Oh my god, that's actually quite a while ago. The capo trees also have a nice canopy, but they're greener. Yeah, exactly. That's also something I had in mind. Is that the juniper bush? We will use the juniper bush because its textures good. Like for a little bit of a ground thingy. Oh, that's the cluster piece, not the... Okay, well, sorry. That's the kapok tree. Yeah, but that again, this is unfortunately one of these trees that have just such a bad quality. Yeah, we can't really use them. It's a bit of it's a taste thing, I know, but this is definitely something we need to use, even though they have a freaking terrible LOD, these pieces. You can even already tell from this one. These ones have to go in here too. So let's plop them all down. Even though they're giant, they will be in there too. We also have to use some mist, as I said. The London plane tree... Yeah, I mean, this is, again... Look at this terrible LOD. There are water plants, yeah. We can definitely use some water plants here as well. This one can come in handy as well. This one, I used this one as well as some sort of nice tree to use as almost like a fern. So just gonna showcase how that works. So here you go. That thing works pretty nice as like a big grown fern tree as well. So I'm just gonna use that one too. Then we have the rhododendron, which in any way I don't like. The rose bush is definitely, again, something we are going to use. The Scots pine tree, as much as I like it, it's not going to be happening here. The maple tree is pretty good as well. This one can be scaled rather small and looks good. Actually, this one, I think we are going to scatter that around here in the ground a little, because it has that nice bushy feel to it, and it just kind of would help to sell the idea of its being overgrown in general, and just get in with a tad bit of a different cluster of stuff. And it's not yet very much a swampy feel, so we want to get to the swampy feel in a bit. So just that was in. We do have some tamarind. This one also goes good. This one is also good. We're gonna have that one. We have the birch tree. That doesn't make any sense. We have the weeping willow. And I mean, I like this tree as for what it is, but it just doesn't really... I mean... Or does it? I mean, that would definitely help to sell a lot of the things about the swampy feel, right? This would help tremendously. And we could even try to have one in here as well. I'm almost willing to give this thing a proper entry here. So we should not make Grogu be hidden too much. So this is definitely going to be more like here. But I quite like the idea, and we would need to have like a different tree of those maybe in the front here. So like maybe here-ish. Let's have a look. If I do this, and then we're gonna... Yeah, I'm still debating with myself. As I said earlier, I like this tree so much, and it does need to be somewhat here in the middle. And I guess maybe it works if it's smaller, and then we tilt that slowly. Oh yeah, that is good. Oh, we rotate that. Yes, absolutely yes. Now that gives me the feel I was going for, because this is where Grogu is gonna sit, and then we have that like jungly feel here to the back. Yeah, there you go. That is super nice. That is actually super nice. Not sure what I'm going to do here with the front, but these kind of trees over here could help quite a bit. I can make that a little larger as well to just... Even though that looks a little... That looks too tropical. That's not good. You mean you're almost will... Owning? Oh, nah. Frontier has refined LOD. It's no longer level of detail. It's now lack of detail. Oh my god. That's a good one. That's one of your best ones lately, Kane. I admit this has been one of Kane's best jokes lately. And you know why? It's funny because it's true. It's just frankly it. It's funny because it's true. Yeah, that's fine. We're gonna hide this in the interior there as well. Well, okay, so I am quite happy. So same goes with these things. They almost look too tropical to me. They are not swampy enough. I am going to get rid of these. They are not in the list for today. So I'm gonna go better with these things here. So I'm willing to have them on the ground. You know what I can do? Random scale. Yeah, that is a good one. And then we can just make them be in the ground. And just scatter them around here a little. A bit of swamp next to the entrance would work well. Yeah, right? I mean, I need to find something what I can use there potentially, but also some swampy stuff in here everywhere does help. Yeah, we would need to just kind of get some water in here to make that work, right? Or we just kind of fake this with water pieces, which I guess is my preferred way of doing it. Yeah, I mean, this is the Weeping Willow looks good as it is because that's the color of a Weeping Willow. I was just like for a brief moment thinking to put another one in here that would have been good, but yeah, so that's about it. There's not really that much more I can play around with, which is a pity. Some real swampy trees we don't really have in here, do we? There is a lot of stuff, a lot of tropical stuff apparently, because that is what the game's resort theme was going for. But there's no real swampy stuff. I mean, we do have the bald cypress. This one is another... This is kind of a swampy tree. This is absolutely a swampy tree. We do have to have that one in. So that is another absolutely must-have tree in here. Because that is essentially the essence of what is also used for Dagobah, I guess. So let's just plop this one in here. That should be a spot. That should be a spot that absolutely works because there's like no one walking around here potentially. And then there could be the medium-sized one could sit in here and block the exact view on everything. But to be honest, it's a pity though. Can I find a better spot for it? Because I must admit, it makes sense to have it. It makes total sense to have it. And it's also like the way how dark it is in there, how dark it's becoming. This is what it needs to be. This is what it needs to be. This is also kind of cool with Weeping Willow in the back because it gives that bit of brighter background for where Grogu is going to sit. But then again, this is heavily themed and I really like it. I really do like it. This is definitely better than I thought it's going to be. And considering I had no idea what to do before today's stream, and I was a bit confused of people actually selecting this very forest thing as the vibe, I can more than live with the results so far. I'm just wondering, can I bring this thing somehow believably in here? Maybe sit in that little middle part here. So somewhat sticking out of here like this. It just kind of works. This kind of works. I like that. Grogu should be hidden, plays a giant tree, hide everything. Yeah, exactly. But like Grogu isn't. Just this is another bright piece to, yeah. But look at this, like how, oh, that's so good. And then you go into this area and then this just looks very, very nice indeed. Very, very nice indeed. By the way, do I have the, any kind of preset activated right now? Yeah, Realism 1. What Realism 2? Oh my god, Realism 2 is just way more colorful. Is 1 really so cool? Oh yeah. Okay, let's go to 3. I don't know why, but 3 for this area over here gives me a bit of a nicer kick. What pieces will Grogu smash together? I guess most likely simple bar shapes, I guess. But who knows? There's a lot of pieces I have in mind and not sure which ones are going to be the ones that end up being... Oh my god. Look at the green, how they look on the ground, but look at the green, how they look when they're on the tree. That is not the green I was hoping it to be. No, whatever. You can just nicely plop that. Oh god, the lighting in this game is like so awesome. It's so freaking awesome. I think it's just like, it makes my life a lot easier. I'm just gonna place this in a couple of corners here, just like so. This is like the ivy. I'm assuming that like these pieces would even look better. It's like the hardy ice plants, right? They look kind of cool on the tree here, don't they? This looks a lot more like how it's supposed. Yet again, they have like a weird hitbox. There's a very weird hitbox on these pieces. Yeah. I wish that, you know, that was like, look at where the tree wants to have this thing as a thing. I don't know. This is not green you're looking for. No, that's not the green I'm looking for exactly. And this is why, like, it looks so different from over here as when you, because I have to have some sort of vines hanging. I mean, this is working because I can push them into the shadow most likely a little bit. And then that just kind of works well enough for me. You know, there's just, that just works. Despite the fact, oops. Despite the fact, I can't even select this anymore. Okay, good old trick always works. Just gonna move that back in. Hold on, that looks. Yeah, that's working. So it's not necessarily too much of an issue to have them like in the shadow. It's all fine. It actually still is too bright though, but it's actually worse in the shadow than it is in the lighting. I can't use this. Let's get rid of those. These are not good. I'm very sorry. I'm very, very sorry, but you're not good at all. So, let's see if I can make more use of this piece then. Because that just kind of like so. What I was going for. It's not at all. It's not at all working. That's a shame. That is a shame. Okay, so I have to do different things then. So what about the tamarind tree? Can this one actually give me at least a little bushy fields in here? Yeah, that's the bush I want to go for. That sounds weird. That is a little bit like as if the US citizens have said that a couple of years ago. That's the bush I want to go for. That would be okay, but not like how I said that right now. So it's not gonna be it. We have like a bush sitting in here. Another one goes here. And then maybe we can have you sit on the side here. No, we can't. We can't. But I want to have this huge one. And you are going to sit here in the ground, giving us that extra feel. Yeah, oh my god. This isn't the green we're looking for. You can search on. What can you search on? Isn't the green you're looking for? Actually, just a couple more minutes before ending the stream today. But I'm very proud of what we've achieved. I'm very-ish proud of what we... I think part of the issue is the biome we are in, which makes the green look a little bit weird. But not all of the issue. But I think the area, like the queue area itself, is already starting to look really good. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly grab this giant branch piece over here and just going to utilize that also on the other side. But I'm willing to just about scale that down a little. And then just... Oh, wait. Scale. There we have it. And random scale obviously helps to make me build that thingy a little bit nicer. Whew. That looks almost like a pointy finger. It's the Vettel finger. It's the Sebastian Vettel finger. Look at that. This tree bark is done after Mr. Vettel himself. All right, so this is cool. We could use that one in here. Maybe. just to get it. Yeah, that is sweet. Okay, so I think we have enough of these different types of plants in here. The only one I think I want to test if I can have that one in the ground as little shrubs. How does this look? And we're gonna go with like size-wise, just so that it does work. I need to just have that embark a little bit around here, these trees. I'm just wondering, yeah, that looks good. That looks good to me, as if there is some stuff grown in between, but not too crazy. And then just gonna have some more stuff on the side here. The same goes here in the back. And I'm also wondering, I'm looking for one piece specifically in the workshop now. And if there is a piece that is just too good to not use, I'm going to use it. And if not, we will build this exact piece in the future and then provide this to other people as well. Because there's one piece I was wanting to have for such a long time already, but I never really did this. So that is this. That's very good. So basically what we need to do is we need to just double check in the Frontier Workshop. Okay then. We're not going to do something in the Frontier Workshop, I guess. At the end of the day. Literally. Right. Why on earth would that work, right? Why would this work? Oh my god. So let's just try to scale it down, because the texture of this thing is obviously better when it's not so super small. And just have this. Oh wait, why is it not? Time is up. Yeah, time is up for the stream, I guess. Just the game is also telling me, Rudy, time out. There you have that. So that looks a bit cooler here, as if this is growing out of it. There's going to be like a sign on it, I guess. So this is where like the entrance goes. And this is where I want to have exactly this font kind of thing. Font goes here. And we're going to type in, obviously. We're going to make this very interestingly bold, I guess. And it's gonna be called the N. Oh wait, hold on, I need to just get the random scale off, and then E N T for T entrance and no, A, first of all, an A. And the good idea is to make a group first of all, because otherwise I'm too stupid. So let's just move this over here, double tap in, and trends, and then I'm actually faster to click here than to grab it from group. And trends. There we have that. Okay, so we're obviously going to move that back into its... Why was there an N? It doesn't make any sense. Whatever. So let's just bring this down so that it does sit eventually on here. Okay, so we got to do a couple of little things. So just to bring that one down. That one down. That one. That one. And trends. That looks better to me. And now the color scope is something maybe lighter, like this, I guess. Yeah, that's not cool. I think what would be cool, and I just gotta see what exactly the green tone is, but there's like this very bright green for the Mandalorian and Grogu as like the color that it goes. So maybe this is the green tone we're going for, but I'm not even sure if it's gonna be. So maybe not. Moving to Frontier Workshop will be more accessible, sure. Frontier spokesperson, sure. Yeah, I'm not sure like what happens if I go back to it again. Huh. I honestly didn't really have that much of an issue too often yet, so that is a bit of a first. But yeah. So let's just plop in a couple more. I hate the fact that it's not aligning to any of the pieces here. Really hate that. And it shouldn't be the case, should it? Huh. I think the easiest way is just, yeah, exactly, to line here. Look, this is really cool. And then again, as I said, I don't want to scale them awfully big because they will lack a little bit more detail then. But I think the way that goes, yeah, this is how it's gonna need to be themed the whole way. Oh my god, this is gonna be I'm gonna be furious when this is done. I assume that my life will be much easier when I'm going to just do this whole thing in a dark gray tint. So I like the fact that, like, it could be dark, but I think I like the fact if it goes into this kind of gray tone. I'm all in for that. But what about, okay, so this is that. Let's also do that very much green. And then what is this? Okay, this is just like the house itself. Good. You're gonna be green as well. And now the question is, can we just do this all so it's a little bit more aligned with like the rest of it? Oh, this has to be then, is that just the interior? Okay, let's make that gray because that is going to be, or is it also the outside? It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. It doesn't even matter at the end of the day. What about now with these things? Okay, so why can I not? So what is about these stars over here? Can I not align anything? Can I pair that then? Because that would be a nightmare if attach scenery, bark, and now let's see. Okay, so I can, but I have a so I can, but I would need to do this individually, right? I mean, at least it's aligning, I guess. Oh boy, really? That's no joke, right? It's really no joke, is it? Oh boy, no. Okay, I'm gonna use then a weird little technique for that. Not sure if you can even call this a technique. I'm just going to throw these things on and just going to go every other piece so it's not too repetitive. Maybe we can squeeze 2 in as well. I don't know, like so. And then sometimes you're gonna have these smaller ones that you actually need to do bigger in order to make it work. There's like a pointy finger. I will never not see that a pointy finger there. It's gonna be the pointy finger forever now. It's gonna poke into that tree. Boop, 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 boop. Look at that thing. We can basically boop a lot of things. We can boop, 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 beep, 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 beep. We can also boop that building. Look at that. Boop, 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 boop. Do 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 do. Okay, this is. I want my pointy finger. We can also point on, like, we play this one. Look at that. Beep 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 beep. Or here, I want to have this one, like the marks. Do 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 do. Where are people? Going just like people. Where are people? I need to do something with the people. Hello, hello. Can I poke you? What about you? You. Boop 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 boop. What about you? Or you can also, we can also like, hello? Are you the person? I mean, you. Oh, I placed it down. I didn't want to. Oh, dang it. Come on, bigger. There we have it. Here, it's you. This person. It's this person. Hello, this person. Hello. I'm TikToking. I'm absolutely TikToking, but I enjoy that. So yeah, this is what you can do with this piece. This is the pointy bark. Imagine she would walk, and then we can make her tumble a little, like boop, boop, boop. She can't. Look, she's got a McDonald's sweater on because that's like the McDonald's color scope over here. Like the yellow lashes and, you know, that's that. Content, right? 10 out of 10 content right here. I'm sorry. I was TikToking. Yeah, that's right. By the way, if you don't know what that means, we established that wording and you have to, from now on, always use that. If someone is going to be distracted by something, you're TikToking. You're basically TikToking. This is from a German book and I love it so much that it just has to become the new formula for whenever someone is losing their mind or like distracted by anything. This is gonna be called TikToking. Okay, that's just the way it is. That's just how it needs to be in the future. Don't encourage such behavior. Please do encourage me doing this absolutely every single time, also just to make Kane suffer from enjoyment, suffer from happiness, suffer from our joy of being foolish. That's what we do. We make him suffer from our fun, from our joy. I guess what I would need to do to make that look better is really to get in more of these bark pieces. And my fear is, and I'm just going to use, wait, hold on, these two, because they will then be on one area, right? Oh yeah, I can. Okay, so at least this gives me the power to rotate the pieces correctly. And then I could always just try to have it a bit like so, and then also rotate them to get a bit of a different texture in. I do not suffer fools. I slap them. That's violence you choose. We choose fun and hope and everything. Look at his finger on the peeps here. It's like you tell your kids not to put out the finger, and you yourself are like, oh, look, there's something I can point with. Top-notch dad behavior. It's like, our kid is doing that and that. Where do they get this from? And then in the background, you see the dad like... It's just how it is. It's just how it is. I wake up every day and choose violence. So, how often, Kane, do you go to Washington? And is there a way... I mean, not that I'm saying, but... Like... Cytex, hello, welcome online. Thank you for the subscription on YouTube. But, like, Kane, if you're in Washington, like, is there a way of... I mean... potentially going into a specific house and maybe live out whatever you want to in that house with a specific not further defined person. I don't know about you guys, but this looks freaking awesome. Project Grogu. I mean, just imagine him sitting on there now, and imagine these things becoming the actual pots. Oh, you know what? Actually, let's have a little look at some pieces for that. I'm not entirely sure which ones I'm gonna use, but I think the aquatic pieces have some cool bits in them that we could use. I'm not sure though, but like I thought maybe these will offer some pieces. We obviously have to have a certain kind of, yeah, this is what I meant. Like we need to have something that already comes with a somewhat of a canopy here. You cannot do this all on your own. That is not going to be possible. But I'm willing to see if there's some bendy pieces already. Maybe some pieces that we get from the vehicles in game, maybe? I don't know. Grogu's okay. Feel the force, maybe? Feel the force on your skin. Oh my god, it's not aligned, and this is gonna cause a huge issue along the way. But I'm willing to try to get this done anyway. So this all has to be pretty much this kind of silverette-esque color. And we can, like, it should work like this, but we have to then just rotate this because it has that kind of cool, almost like perfect shape in there already. Oh my god, no. Oh my god, no. It's not. It's so twinning. There you have that. So this is it for the sides over here, and then I mean you gotta have to do this in a way. I mean, I think there is no way around of me doing some custom pieces as well, but just as for the idea, that is a very good canopy thing. And then we need to do the sides a bit nicely. So eventually, I mean, this thing doesn't do the trick, but like if there is any kind of other metal we're going to use for the sides, they have to be bendy already. And I was, yeah, exactly. I was hoping to get in with some of these pieces here. I'm not sure if there's anything we can use. I have absolutely no idea right now, but I'm just hoping that there is some sort of bendiness already in some of the pieces. We got this shield, for example, but I assume there's still going to be some, like, yeah. It's a shame though. Changing the light, that's what she said. That's what she said. You are right. I mean, the other solution is obviously the one I did not prefer, but potentially we are going to use the small metal pieces again to custom build the sides of it. I'm just wondering what happens if I do say the piece is mirrored. Is it still okay? So at least this is giving me not too much of a hard time to build these things. So this is at least mirrored. So yeah, well, fine. This is one of the pieces that just doesn't work properly, but yeah, as I said, it's gonna be, I think at the end of the day, unfortunately, I will need to custom design this. I think there is not really anything. I mean, this one looks like a cool back piece for the pot of some sort, you know, but it also has these kind of weird thingies to it. So, but it is flexicolor, which would come in beneficial as for the shininess. This could actually be the inner piece at some sort. This could actually be here, you know. I think I'm almost like fairly confident that this is the inner piece. Like if this is going to be it, and then you've got that to the outside. I mean, it's all not being perfect right now, but I think this is the way. This is going to be the way. This is the way, guys. This is the way. Nice shirt. Did you even see my shirt? No, I think you don't even need. I don't think you mean my shirt. You can't really tell what my shirt is. Also, I'm like drowning in my chair today. What's happening? What is happening? Anyhow, I do have to stop as well because I do have a doctor's appointment very early on tomorrow. What about these targets, by the way? Are they fully flexicolor? So could I theoretically use these ones as silver plates as well? Oh, I can. Okay, good to know. How small can they get? Wait. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I want to just test. Not as small as I thought it was going to be. Then we also have these key rings, which these are cool for some sort of stuff. I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to build this pot not in here. I will actually build this pot outside of it, and I'm just going to get the measurements by measuring one of these things and then knowing exactly, okay, this is the size I'm going to build this. But like, as for the pots, that is going to like imagine if they are done. This is really looking even cooler if these things are like really swooping in here as well. That's gonna look really damn good. Anyhow, guys, I have to end the stream today because I am, as I said, A, tired, and B, I have to just, you know, go to the doctors tomorrow morning and hopefully no kid 3, right? No. No. I mean, fun story, and I don't even mind talking about this. It is planned, yes, but it's not going to happen tomorrow morning. It definitely is planned because no third kid is absolutely the right way to go. And it's actually a fun topic. It's not a fun topic in that sense that it's funny, but I think it's an important one, which shouldn't be too much of a thing to talk about. But I feel it's also kind of my job to do that. Like, I don't know why, but it's also, why is always the woman kind of the person to deal with that in most of the cases, you know, to use or to prevent these things to happen? Because at the end of the day, it's easy to say because women are the ones that obviously would have the issue, if you know what I mean. So I guess, and this is why I openly talk about that, like, if there's any way of doing this for the guy, you got to do this, you know. It's also your responsibility. And in our specific case, where there is absolutely no will to get another kid, it's again, why would she need to do something? And so it's my turn, I guess, this time around. Gotta do an appointment to make sure it works rather soon. Yeah, I guess that's the way it is, you know. A third kid, and this is also, I guess people do talk about that too rarely, I guess. The second kid, as much as it was our wish, obviously, financially has been incredibly hard. Like, we are now at a point, at the moment, we are really on the edge, and the next 4 to 8 months are going to be very decisive. And it is partially the reason why I'm doing so much YouTube and streaming and trying to keep this going, because as much as YouTube always has been just a hobby and a side hustle, right now we are dependent on it. So if for whatever reason my YouTube channel now would completely break down, which to be honest it did at the beginning of the year, and at the moment I'm putting out way more content and way more streams than I ever wanted to do next to my normal job. Like, I have a full-time job. I'm working in advertisement. That's not like just a couple hours a day. That's quite a lot of hours a day, most of the times. And I've got a family of 2 kids and a wife, and like, financially, as I said, but also time-wise, this gets you to the very edge. And yeah, I don't have that many kidneys to offer. I would need to have at least 10 or so. No, but jokes aside, it's very hard because of the situation financially. And I'm also very curious to how other people do that, to be honest. Especially when my wife wanted to stay at home for at least a year and a half now for the little one. She's obviously not earning money, right? And I'm the only one earning money for us during the time being. And then also 2024, YouTube-wise, was super strong with the launch of Planet Coaster and so on. I had a lot of income. And as I always said, I put that to a different bank account. But due to the fact how much money we drained now during the parental leave of my wife, it appeared that I needed to get this money from that bank account to help us out. And then eventually, at some point, I gotta pay taxes, you know? And then when taxes came around, I was like, it's gonna be a bit close, guys, because I needed to use that money for once. And so, yeah, this is why I'm continuing. I wish, and this is also part of the truth, I wish I could have made a little break from YouTube a while ago. I desperately wanted to make one to also not drown into that situation of, I have to produce content and, I have to do that and that, because it will always make the content worse. And I will admit there were a couple of videos that, funnily enough, I think every single video that ever happened because it had to happen and was kind of sloppy and quickly made, I hate to say it, but they all were pretty successful. The ones that are not successful are most likely the videos that I don't really care about when they are done and how much work they are. I do because I love them. Like that one. They just quite often do not work. Which is something I hate, but that's just how it is, and that's just how we live through it. But yeah, just as a bit of an anecdote here. Anyhow, I wanted to end early. Now it's only 3 minutes earlier than usually. I hope you guys enjoyed today. It was a bit of a cozy stream. We will be live again on Thursday. It's gonna be fun. I will potentially keep on building in here. I'm not sure if I will do something else. Maybe we will jump over to the other coaster. I have just shown you the one in here, that wing coaster. Depends a little bit on how I feel. I want to go with the flow at the moment, so I'm willing to play whatever comes to my mind that I feel like is doable. But yeah, talk to you in the next one. Have a good time. Thank you so much, guys. And yeah, good night. Good night, I shall say, for the most of you. And for those of you who have still a day in front of you, have a good day. See you then. Bye.